NewsX. The North-South war has once again seemingly erupted. Active politician Pawan Kalyan has questioned publicly the appointment of the new North Indian chief of the Lord Venkateswara Temple in Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh. IAS officer Anil Kumar Singhal has recently taken the charge as the new executive officer of the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams, which governs the Lord Venkateswara Temple in Tirumala. But actor Pawan Kalyan has slammed his appointment and said that if Hindu temples in North India are not allowed to have South Indian heads, then why should South Indians accept the same? Meanwhile, the TDP, the Telugu Desam Party, has criticized Pawan Kalyan for unnecessarily, seemingly widening the North-South divide.
After all, religion is a sentiment, and people are committed to upholding their tradition and their customs and rituals. I don't think this is a bit insensitive on the part of the central government not to take into account the sentiments of the people.
The cinema stars should shut their mouths, you see. They don't know what they mean. This is a Hindu temple. It's got nothing to do with North and South. Yes, if you had appointed a Christian, you could have asked this question. If you had appointed a Muslim, you could have asked this question. But Hindus being as trustees of a temple, I mean, it doesn't matter whether he's from Arunachal or he's from Jamnagar or he's from Gulmarg.
We're opening our phone lines. You can call us on the numbers flashing on your screens right now. If you want to give an opinion, NewsX is the place to be. You can call us and we'll put you on air. Remember, the topic is Pawan Kalyan criticizing a North Indian chief of a temple trust of Tirumala Tirupati Temple. We also will be joined by my colleague Ritanshu Bhattacharya, who joins us now. Ritanshu, politicians have come out and criticized Pawan Kalyan, saying he's unnecessarily widening the divide and looking for an issue where there is none. However, there are those who feel that appointing a North Indian to a South Indian temple head perhaps is insensitive. In the meantime, all we can talk about right now is a North-South divide.
Well, yes, indeed, Athar, and this is quite interesting here because apparently for some of our politicians, a person's identity is more important than the person's qualification. On the face of it, the man who has been appointed a temple trustee has all the qualifications for the job because he's an IAS official and he has been chosen by an extensive board of not one person but of a lot of other people associated with the Tirupati Tirumala Temple. Yet for some politicians, including this person from the Andhra Pradesh polity, it's a person's identity which is more important. The logic coming out from Pawan Kalyan is if a North India, if there's been no South Indian who has ever been in a position of power for any North Indian temple of prominence such as the Kashi Vishwanath Temple, why should South Indians allow a North Indian to be a temple trustee? Now, this is an extremely regressive statement which smacks of bigotry, which shows that how at the time, Athar, when we had even ironically cinema trying to bridge the North Indian versus South Indian divide, such as films like Bahubali doing that quite effectively, you still have netas who are trying to desperately cash in to a sentiment which went out of date in the 1970s.
And Ritanshu, also another Telugu Desam Party, an ally of the NDA, of course, has criticized Pawan Kalyan. They come from the same state. They see no problem in this.
Can you come again, Athar, please?
Oh, the TDP has criticized Pawan Kalyan over his statement. Ritanshu, TDP, of course, is governing Andhra and is also an ally of the BJP at the centre. They see no problem in Mr. Singhal being appointed as the trustee there.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, this has taken political overtones, and the ruling TDP, thankfully, has taken a rational stand and has backed this IAS official who is a temple trustee. But the issue is slightly more than just one particular appointment. The issue is, at this point, is about the North-South divide, which continues to be a key factor which is dividing, which is a divisive factor that is capitalized upon by politicians. We have seen people from the South claim, especially politicians from the South, claim that there's an effort by the North to impose Hindi upon it. Now, there is a merit to this argument. While a region's linguistic heritage and linguistic uniqueness cannot be imposed upon, it also remains to be seen that that cannot be seen as a criteria to bar people from being given posts that they deserve. This is what has been the case here as well.
All right, Pawan Kalyan there, creating a controversy, if you will, asking a question as to why is a North Indian in charge of a South Indian Hindu temple. He's been criticized by the TDP and others as well. We'll listen into some other reactions coming in on the story now. Let's take a look.
These cinema stars should shut their mouths, you see. They don't know what they mean. This is a Hindu temple. It's got nothing to do with North and South. Yes, if you had appointed a Christian, you could have asked this question. If you had appointed a Muslim, you could have asked this question. But Hindus being as trustees of a temple, I mean, it doesn't matter whether he's from Arunachal or he's from Jamnagar or he's from Gulmarg.
After all, religion is a sentiment. And people are committed to upholding their tradition and their customs and rituals. I don't think this is a bit insensitive on the part of the central government not to take into account the sentiments of the people.
So Pawan Kalyan wading into a controversy, getting, of course, brickbats for it. It remains to be seen whether or not there are people supporting him. This, of course, over the fact that an IAS officer, Mr. Singhal, has been appointed as the chairman of the board that manages the Tirumala Tirupati Temple. And he, of course, his logic being, however erroneous it might be, that a South Indian temple has to have a South Indian in charge of the temple trust. He's also questioned why South Indian priests or South Indian individuals are not heading North Indian Hindu temples. Of course, he's come in for a lot of criticism here, Pawan Kalyan. He is, of course, a well-known actor, but he's also a politician, remember. So this has political overtones clearly here, and it does look like, seemingly prima facie, that he is trying to milk it for political